welcome back to another episode of Underdog Podcast. Man, starting a little late today, 10 minutes late with a live stream. Oh man, Wednesdays, bro. Wednesdays. Wednesdays, man. I don't know. It's just trying to push through the week, right? Uh like I said, if you guys want to check out the live stream Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's probably an odd time to do a live stream though, right? Because it probably doesn't work with everybody, but it works for my schedule. So that's what I go with. And then the replays are up, I think, for at least a day or something on D Live. Then you have the audio versions and the video version of the podcast on YouTube, Odyssey, audio version on Podbean, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, as well as iHeartRadio and some other place that I don't even know or think about. But yeah, so whenever you guys check it out, check it out. Go ahead, leave comments if you can, or if you choose to, especially when you're talking about on YouTube, stuff like that. Obviously, there's no comments on. There's comments on Podbean, right? Yeah. Anyway, so if you guys want to come drop by the live stream, if you can, check it out. I'll try to be in the chat and talk at the same time, multitask, which will be interesting for me to even try to attempt. We're going to go ahead and jump into today's topics. But actually, before we even get into that, when I say things line up and the universe speaks to you and you're listening, everything you say and everything that happens in your life has some connection with everything. Remember I think a couple episodes ago, I think it was last week, when I talked about city states. I did a whole episode on city states. And I know it sounded so far fetched to some or whatever, especially when we're talking about Washington, D.C. But I had a feeling. I go with my gut instinct because my gut instinct seems to always lead me in the direction I need to be. And whether it's perceived as positive or negative is besides the point, because the main issue in itself is life lessons. Going where you need to go to continue the journey that you are meant to be on. Following your own path, your own road to destiny. Because fate is fate and destiny is destiny. You just didn't realize you chose your own fate and your own destiny, and you're watching it play out in real time. So as we talked about city states, understand. Let me see something. He's saying my stream is not good, but then it is good, and then it's not good. Let me check. But especially, like I said, when we talk about, when I was talking about city states, someone was telling me like, I just feel like this is the time to talk about it. And then lo and behold, this shit happens right here. And this was from the 22nd, and I forgot about it the other day, and I remember today. Also, actually, you know what? Before I even go to that one, we have this from Gold Telegraph saying China has been testing its digital currency on trading platforms around the world where it can be freely traded with other fiat currencies. Once again, trying to circumvent around having to deal with trade within the U.S. dollar or trade using the U.S. dollar, circumventing those sanctions by the United States government, getting away from it. So Beijing is also setting up a legal framework for central bank digital currencies with global financial regulators. So testing really means, oh, we already got it. We're just gonna wait till we find a complete way to implement it. And that source, it comes from RT.com, which is Russia Today, Russian state fund government. But then here's what I want to talk about here. Let's see, autoplay. But it's funny, man, because I sat there and said DC is already a city state. Regardless of the little legislation and acts they want to pass, like the writing's on the wall. It's right in front of your face, man. Don't overlook the obvious. Then Forbes released this video of DC statehood. DC Mayor Muriel Bowser argues for making Washington, D.C. the 51st state. Washington, D.C., the 51st state. Your first thought should be, why the fuck does Washington, D.C. need to become a state if it's just the capital of the United States of America? I don't care what little legislation, what laws, whatever they throw out. How can they make that make sense to you, the regular person? Because what the fuck does this mean? If DC is supposed to just house the capital and the people that work there in the capital really should be the ones living there, how did the population end up getting so big? Which she's gonna kind of talk about. I'm not gonna play the whole video, but it's just probably the first few minutes of it. I want to get into the other topics as well. But this really kind of gets to me because it's so funny. It's so funny that make it make sense. You telling me the capital of the United States of America, where the federal government is at, its own district, is trying to attain statehood. Why? 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 And then in this speech, in her testimony, as she talks, she's saying that they don't want the statehood is for the population outside of the district area where the capital is at. But in DC, just the district area of the capital, anyways. Like, what we talk about? A couple of streets, Pennsylvania Avenue, or something like that. Like that's a kind of odd thing. And then she says that there still will be the federal government will still have its own separate district. But it's like, but they already have its own separate district. Why do you need to become a statehood? In fact, why if you don't work there, why live there? I'm talking about federal employees, really. But I guess then you need someone else to help society. See, it's a slippery slope, I should say better, because it adds more questions upon questions, but it doesn't really solve anything for anybody. But let's see what she says from her point of view.
And members of this esteemed committee. On behalf of 712,000 residents of the District of Columbia,
712,000.
I thank you for convening this hearing on H.R. 51, the Washington, D.C. Admission Act. In particular, we thank you for shepherding this measure to passage during the 116th Congress, and we respectfully ask you to do it again.
I just got a mask on. Nobody can hear her, bro.
I want to especially thank our Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, who has championed equality for Washington, D.C. throughout her tenure.
Equality for Washington, D.C.
Delivering jobs, opportunity, and greater self-determination.
Imagine needing jobs in the capital of the United States of America.
Muriel Bowser, I am Mayor of Washington, D.C., and I'm honored to come before this committee to ask this Congress to right the wrong that happened 220 years ago when the residents of the District of Columbia were stripped of their full congressional representation. 2 years ago in the 100th...
Why would you need congressional representation when you're living in the capital? If you want congressional representation, why don't you go across the street to Maryland, Virginia? Like, do people realize exactly where DC is at in the land that they took over?
16th, I came before this committee under the leadership of the late Elijah Cummings to dispel erroneous arguments against DC statehood. These are bad faith arguments, and I'm sure we will hear them time and time again this morning. They say Washington, D.C. statehood is unconstitutional, even though constitutional experts have refuted this claim.
Here we go again. Experts. What? Constitutional experts. What does that mean? The Constitution is the Constitution, bro. Anybody can read it and take it for its word. All this interpretation and shit like that. What's to interpret? Take it for what it's saying.
Article 1 of the Constitution is not an obstacle. As H.R. 51 makes clear, a federal district will remain for the federal government, its buildings and its workings. And the rest of the area where people
her mask is beneath her nose. She might as well just take the shit off.
Live will become the 51st state. They say Washington, D.C. is too small. Our economy is not diverse enough, even though we're bigger by population than 2 states and pay more per capita than any state. We pay more in total federal taxes than 22 states.
How do you pay taxes in Washington, D.C., and the taxes that you pay go back to Washington, D.C.? Make this shit make sense to me, man. Because I'm sorry, I'm not a constitutional expert. Just a regular guy that got questions because what you're saying doesn't make sense. You're paying taxes to the federal government in the same place where you live at, where the federal government resides. So does not some of that money go right back to you? Well, not necessarily to the population, probably to her, the mayor, the governors of DC. So would she be the mayor of DC City, and then who would be governor of the state? Why she resigns or something like that, and then all of a sudden decides to run for governor of Washington D.C. state? What the fuck? Do we keep the same name? We already got a state called Washington, don't we? Yeah, Seattle, Washington. I had to think about it. I'm like, wait a minute, bro. Like, because this is how ridiculous this shit sounds. We already have a state called Washington. So what are we going to call this state? Washington, D.C. state? Washington, D.C. state? D.C. state? District of Columbia state? Well, you can't be District of Columbia and be a state. So Washington, D.C., what? They're going to have to come up with a different name for it? We're just going to add another state for whatever reason. Before we even add a state like, I don't know, Puerto Rico, Guam. We're just going to add another state for another reason because, for her reasons that she claims is a big deal. Why would we create them a state when the federal government buildings right now, the Capitol buildings, all this other stuff, they're all still occupied by National Guard members? But don't worry. Everybody's paying attention to shit. I don't even know where other people are paying attention to really, because this is kind of suspicious to me right here.
They say Washington, D.C. can't take care of itself. This is simply not accurate. In fact,
we know it's not accurate.
Objective measures, D.C. is a better governed jurisdiction than most states. We have balanced our budgets.
A place of 700,000 people, occupying the size of what, Orlando, Tampa, St. Pete area. And our economy is strong and good. Your economy is based on the United States Capitol, right? Isn't that what your economy is based on? Then to start there and then the surrounding area.
For 25 times in the last 25 years. And we already operate as a state and perform the same functions as states do.
And that's the point right there. I wanted you guys to hear. They already operate as a state. So thus, when I say, on Wikipedia it says, oh no, we're not a city state. Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. That's pushed by QAnon and all the other stuff and sovereign citizen conspiracy theories. Yet, she literally just said we already operate as a state. Fuck that. Listen to that shit again.
25 years. And we already operate as a state and perform the same functions as states do.
That should really bother people because how the fuck are they getting away with this? Why? Don't they have representation when it comes to voting for the president of the United States? I guess they don't have representation when it comes to senators because senators and congressmen, representatives, stuff like that, is only about states. Although they're in the capital of the United States of America, so the representation is literally right down the street. But whatever, because, so, okay, you are a congress member, you're a senator, you live in the United States, you live in Washington, D.C. You're a federal employee. You work at a White House. You work at a Capitol building. You live in Washington D.C. Are the populace of the people, the majority of the people, probably are federal employees? So they want their own representation, even though they already work for the government. I'm just kind of it's kind of confusing, right? You see, we're getting kind of all these gray areas. It's kind of all over the place. Not even gray areas. It's really all over the place. But to sit here and say that they're operating already as a state and govern themselves as a state, that makes them literally the definition of a goddamn city state. They just want to now be into the union to what? Collect more federal funding? I mean, I don't know. But like, oh man, this thing goes on for like 6 more minutes. But yeah, I had retweeted this stuff. You guys go to my Twitter, Damien_Jackson 2. Go ahead and check that out if you want to. I just had to throw that out there because that shit is hilarious to me. Just talk about DC state. Or yeah, DC being a city state. Wikipedia is saying that's a conspiracy theory. Yet here they are trying to apply for statehood. I mean, I don't know what else to say anymore, man. Like, it's literally right in front of our face, and no one's paying attention to this shit. Like, oh my god, man. All right, go into today's first topic. This is from Associated Press. 9 minutes ago, so it got released today. It says massive cargo ship becomes wedge, blocks Egypt's Suez Canal. Now, I had seen something. I think it was on Gab, and this was when I saw it was more about it was connecting this whole thing right here to a Q drop. I think the Q drop came from like 2018, something like that. I probably should have shared it. Now I think about it, so I can go back and show you guys what the post was talking about, but whatever. And then I also seen this is a Twitter handler by the name of Mr. Pool, obviously on Twitter, and I usually follow those type of people, the Riddlers and stuff like that, talking about XRP and cryptocurrency, whatever. And it's those little things because a lot of stuff that they talk about that goes on in the world on a massive scale, on a macro level, it's all hidden behind non-disclosure agreements. And some people do want to get the truth out to other people, but you have to, because of the NDAs, they have to put it out in a cryptic manner and stuff. Is it annoying? Yeah, but at the same time, it's actually better for you because if you think about this stuff on your own, you'll begin to understand it. Like the stuff that's going on in America, all the psychological operations, you sit here and tell people about it, they won't believe you. No one believes anything until they see it for themselves, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, that's how it's supposed to be, anyways. You figure it out on your own. But it's kind of odd that I see one thing talk about, and then another thing that's supposed to be completely separate from that talk about too. So I'm like, whoa, shit. What's the implications, the worldwide implication, implication? I don't know. I was trying to say a whole different word of this of this Suez Canal blockage. Kind of interesting to me. Okay, let's see if it goes through the pictures. Oh yeah, so says in this photo released by the Suez Canal Authority, a boat navigates in front of a massive cargo ship named the Evergreen. You gotta be fucking kidding. Evergreen? Evergreen. Okay. Sits grounded Wednesday, March 24, 2021, after it turned sideways in Egypt's Suez Canal, blocking traffic in a crucial east-west waterway for global shipping. An Egyptian official warned Wednesday it could take at least 2 days to clear the ship. I don't know much about ships. My first thought is Okay, the shit went sideways. Is it stuck? Can we get it to go regular ways again? But like I said, I don't know anything about ships like that, so that's just me. Okay, so it is stuck. See, I just said some dumbass shit. See. Okay, so it says in this photo released by Suez Canal Authority, a cargo ship named sits with its bow stuck into the wall. Now, my next question is, how did that shit happen? Turned sideways in Egypt's Suez Canal, blocking traffic. No shit. How'd it get stuck that way? So this is a satellite image. You know what? This is a satellite image. We can see this shit from space. Oh man. Oh man. I guess space the satellite's in low orbit, huh? Whatever. Cargo container that's among the largest in the world has turned sideways and blocked traffic in the Suez Canal. But it just got blocked. Like, how does that happen, man? I'm just gonna skip through the photos though and kind of get into the article and see if it has any answers. Is anybody actually doing their damn job when they write these articles? Okay, so this is out of Dubai, United Arab Emirates. This article it says a skyscraper seized container, a skyscraper sized container ship has become wedged across Egypt's Suez Canal and blocked all traffic in the vital waterway, officials said Wednesday, threatening to disrupt a global shipping system already strained by the coronavirus. God damn it. Why they have to throw in COVID-19? Why they have to throw in that shit, man? Why they have to throw it? Keywords threatening to disrupt global shipping system. Remember, problem, reaction, solution. Guess what? There's a blockchain to help with this solution. VeChain. Their token is VET. VeChain helps track supplies on a blockchain. I think they have had talks with Walmart. I know BMW, some other stuff. Actually, you know what? I think VeChain price has been going up too. But it's using blockchain and QR code stuff to track all the things, which is we're kind of slow to get in there because go look at a box of Nike shoes on that you're starting to see QR codes. I bought my daughter some shoes for volleyball. She was expensive too. Goddamn. I buy shoes for volleyball. It has a QR code on it. You put a QR code on anything and everything, you can track everywhere that item has been at. It's all about tracking, accountability, knowing where shit is and where shit's at. It's all about control. Governments, organizations around the world will do their best to control their products, to control their inventory, to control as much as that they can control. The same as you're doing in your own personal life. You're trying to do as much as you can to control your outcome. Wait a minute. This says evergreen, and then the article says that ever given. I guess that's a typo. It's kind of a huge typo though. The Ever Given, maybe it's a different one. The Ever Given, a Panama flag ship that carries cargo between Asia and Europe, ran aground Tuesday in the narrow man-made canal dividing continental Africa from the Sinai Peninsula. It says images showed the ship's bow was touching the eastern wall while its stern looked lodged against the western wall. An extraordinary event. That, here we go again, the experts said they have never heard of happening before in the canal's 150-year history. They really expect us to sit here and believe this shit. 150 years. Somehow, a boat decided to turn sideways. How would that even happen? Why would that even happen? Have you ever seen a boat go into a canal? Go into a docking port, anything like that? You ever been on a cruise? Or someone just fell asleep at the wheel at the last second, like just turned the whole goddamn ship and got it stuck? And no one else knew about it at all? How they gonna explain this shit? Let me see. Let's see how they gonna explain this shit. This article is long. Okay, it's not that long. I'm gonna see how they gonna explain it. It says tugboat strain, blah blah. It says, but it remained unclear when the route through which around 10% of world trade flows. So you're gonna see an increase in prices, supply and demand, a shortage in some supplies for a while, which is particularly crucial for the transport of oil. Don't be surprised if your gas prices go up at the pump again. You see how it's all going to for the Great Reset, crashing all these systems, making every problem reaction solution, disrupting the global shipping system, messing things up like that, tracking things. There's some ways to implement new infrastructures in a quick, fast way. Because all one instance in 150-year history, you would just take it as that, a random incident on the surface. But if you're paying attention, you'll know that no, these ain't no random things. These ain't no coincidences. They just don't happen. Someone's pulling the strings. I don't even want to say this is genius because I mean, like, the fuck, like the ship is just gonna get stuck like that. The one official warned it could take at least 2 days. In the meantime, there were concerns that idling ships could become targets for attacks. And then wherever those ships are carrying to also has an effect on the whole global economy. It says Suez Canal will not spare any efforts to ensure the restoration of navigation and to serve the movement of global trade. Why I keep calling it Ever Given? Why it says which manages the Ever Given said all 20 members of the crew were safe and that there had been no reports of injuries or pollution. Ever Given, but it's saying the fucking boat says Evergreen. Why do they keep saying Ever Given? That's really odd, man. It wasn't immediately clear what caused the Ever Given to become wedged on Tuesday morning. Of course not. Of course not. However, it denied the ship lost power. So, denying that the ship lost power, Evergreen Marine Corps, a major Taiwan-based shipping company that operates the ship. So, Ever Given is the name of the ship, but Evergreen is the company that operates the ship. But said in a statement that Ever Given had been overcome by strong winds as it entered the canal from the Red Sea, but none of its containers had sunk. So they're gonna say the wind blew. So are they trying to imply that the wind blew the ship? I don't know if y'all buy that. I don't buy that shit. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. And I could be ignorant on not understanding just how much wind can affect a ship of that size within that narrow of a space. But hey, that's just me. I don't care if I sound stupid, if I'm coming off stupid, or if I end up being wrong. Like that's just my thoughts, man. It just doesn't add up, man. It says the Egyptian official who spoke to the Associated Press on condition and immunity, of course, because no one ever wants to fucking, face up to their comments and say, hey, yeah, I said this. Because he wasn't authorized to brief journalists. So if you're not authorized to brief journalists, then you're literally going against your job. And someone's gonna find out it's you anyways. So that official blamed strong wind. So we really 150 years, and you're telling me this has never happened, but all of a sudden the wind got so strong and caused this to happen. That's what they're telling us. And keep this in mind, the global ramifications that this has. They already said it'll affect 10% of the supply chain, of global supply chain. And I don't even know if they just talk about that one ship or because of the ships behind it. I can't believe they went that route. Every day 50 vessels on average go through that canal. So the closing of the canal means no vessels are transiting north and south. Mercoglino told the Associated Press, which is a former marine merchant and associate professor of history at North Carolina's Campbell University. How they found that person to give a quote. It says every day the canal is closed, container ships and tankers are not delivering food, fuel, and manufactured goods to Europe, and goods are not being exported from Europe to the Far East. Once again, somehow, some way, a global economy is being affected in this past year. On top of already COVID-19, right? On top of already a so-called pandemic. We know the Great Reset is here. But how do you get people to buy into a Great Reset? Because a lot of people don't know that these infrastructures are beyond outdated, and they're always designed to fail. Because you're gonna want something else to come in. Although the things they're trying to bring in now makes me wonder: are they hitting their end goal plan? That there's nowhere else to go other than just to improve on these infrastructures, because we're going digital. Then again, unless they know something else far advanced that we have no clue about, which I wouldn't put past. Because there's so much ancient history, ancient knowledge that is not told to us, is not taught in school, that we don't never hear about. We are constantly being fed lies like small little children, like we can't handle the truth. What was that? Was that Nicolas Cage? Not Nicolas Cage. Jack Nicholson or Tom Cruise in that one movie? You can't handle the truth. It's true though. People can't handle it. But you know why people can handle it? Because they've been lied to so much. The truth will just shock them out of the core, because it's like, wait, you telling me there's actually a group of people, maybe a couple hundred, maybe 1,000, that are actually have a huge effect on the world because of the businesses and trade things that they do, because of the illegal activities that they do. There's already some 30 vessels waited at Egypt's Great Bitter Lake midway on the canal, while some 40 idled in the Mediterranean near Port Said, and another 30 at the Suez in the Red Sea, according to the canal service provider Leith Agencies. That included 7 vessels carrying some 5 million barrels of crude oil. Oh, man. It's these type of things that happen. You gotta pay attention to world news, man, because when all of a sudden something goes up or something happens in your local area within our country, United States of America, and it's like, man, why is this happening? Why is this happening? There's something somewhere that is a cause, and the effect trickles, and it goes on to a certain degree. But if you don't see it right in front of your face, then you're like, oh, well, who knows? It's this and that. Or maybe it's the president because Biden's in office because of this and that. Is this? It's because of this reason, and this reason, and this reason, and this reason. We always get focused on there's always just being one cause for something, or one reason for something, or one reason why we do something. And if that, then it's 2 reasons, because we're stuck in a binary thought process. This or that, 1 or 0. But we never think about the 3rd or 4th or 5th options, and so on and so forth. Just these vessels alone, just not being able to go through and stuff. Oh, wait a minute. I'll scan the rest of this article, see if I was going to say anything else about it before I go on to the next topic. It says the Evergreen, built in 2018, with a length of nearly 400 meters, a quarter of a mile, and a width of 59 meters, 139 feet, is among the largest cargo ships in the world. It can carry some 20,000 containers at a time. It previously had been at ports in China before heading toward Rotterdam in the Netherlands. So, so this big ass ship, recently built, somehow wasn't able to withstand the winds. One of the most, probably the more modern ships you have, was not able to withstand the winds. Do you buy that? Do you believe that? So what about the ship before that? That was going into the canal. It had no problem with the wind. uh, my thing is the ramifications of this. Global shipping supply is disrupted, and who knows how long this can happen? Who knows? There's something I'll keep an eye on. It says it's supposed to only be for 2 days, but who knows how long it will happen? I mean, your first thought is probably the same as mine. Telling me you can't get no little tugboat. All right. What's that one little kids cartoon? I can't think of his name. I think it's Tugboat, something like that. I can't think of his name. But you know what I'm talking about. A little blue guy. Can't come in there and get the boat, get the huge container ship out of the sand. I, I guess this is an issue. It's gonna take a while. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because you would think you would dig it out. And I don't know, man. And the wind somehow managed to push it that hard in that direction. That's a suit. That has to be like one of the strongest winds on record, right? Like there's a lot of. It's kind of odd, right? It's kind of odd, right? I'm just saying it's kind of odd that there's literally is a plug, a blockage in the global supply system right now, or global shipping system. I'm just throwing it out there, man. I'm just throwing it out there. Take it for what it is. Call me crazy you want to, man, but it's so much odd shit. So, man, first right off the back, I was wrong. I was fucking wrong. I was wrong. I don't know shit about shit. I keep telling you guys, I don't know shit. I'll just be talking. I sure thought it was gonna be a black dude, bro, or a white dude. Excuse me. I for sure thought it was because that's the narrative that they always go with. You don't ever want to be creative. They got a little creative this time. Yeah, they got a little creative this time. I think this dude is a wrestler. That's Naga. I think it's Naga, yeah. Which I think is the National Association of Grappling of America, or something like that. I just made that up on the fly. It sounds like something. There's an article from Breaking 911. It says Ahmad Al Isa, identified as suspect in Colorado grocery mass shooting. I don't know if you guys have checked out a video. I actually was hanging out with my friend last night, and we were watching it. And that shit is bad, bro. It's bad. I think I'm gonna show a little clip over here. I think it's in this on this page, if I'm not mistaken. There should be, yeah, there's some of it on here. It's not graphic at all. I don't know about you, but as far as I know, when dead bodies are dead, there tends to be some blood. In fact, all the blood that you might see in the video, the link that I put in the video version of my podcast on episode 106, 107, on episode 107, this is all the blood you actually see. This is the most graphic thing you will see in that video. So I don't know. I should say that with a warning because I still haven't watched the whole thing. I'm kind of skimming over it. It got boring, to be honest with you. Towards the end, and the one dude, it was all really. It really looked like someone was running exercise, and the guy recording the video, he seemed like someone that would participate in an exercise. Because when you run exercise in the military, it's the same type of scenario. It's like, hey, you go this person, this checkpoint, you gotta handle this, you gotta handle that, you got all these different injections. But when I say that, it felt like it was an exercise because several units kept running up separately, almost like they're running up to take their turn, and then they will come up and they will talk to the guy that was recording the video, which now somehow this is the only video captured, by the way. I think this is the only news outlet, only media outlet people are asking about the video. Nobody, I don't think any video has came out from anybody inside. One dude was at the door. He wasn't recording nothing on video. I have yet to see anything graphic about the video. This was the only blood I saw in the video. This guy was taken out, and they still kept showing people going into the building. As I say people, I mean law enforcement agencies, different law enforcement task groups, because they all had different uniforms. Will let you know that they're designed for a certain type of situation or a certain type of scenario, or they're probably part of some type of a different precinct, different district, whatever. It just looked like they were all running exercises because they were all like lining up, waiting to go into the building, and then another group come up, say something to the guy holding the camera, and they all literally said the same thing. Hey, guy, you need to get back to on the street. And as I'm watching, I'm like, this is shit that I did in training plenty of times before. Like, hey, you got a scenario, this and that. What are you going to do with the press trying to come in and stuff? How do you handle this? Oh, this is how you handle the press. You tell them, go get away, stay safe, whatever. If you got any questions, you contact the public agency, public affairs agency on base, blah, blah. Just like, this is literally what I'm watching. It's like, man, this is like an exercise training video. But the thing is, when you're doing exercises, not everybody knows it's necessarily an exercise. So, same shit happened on 9/11. Same shit happened on 9/11. People were so confused because some people didn't know what, as far as the planes being taken over and flying into the building. Some people didn't know if it was exercise. You hear them saying exercise, exercise. If you can still find that video anymore, I think that was in Loose Change documentary. Who knows? I'm pretty sure that's somewhere. Maybe you can find it on YouTube, excerpts of it or something like that. But you used to have those things, man. You have those things where people are confused. Okay, is this real world or is this exercise? What's going on and stuff? And then the guy just was in the parking lot the whole entire time. All I did was say, hey, please go back behind us. But then when he finally got all the way back, there was yellow cordon tape already from the edge of the parking lot all the way around. So it's like, so you tell me they they taped off the whole area, but they left this one guy in there? And everyone's seen him. If you buy that shit, that's good for you. I don't. Yeah, that's your business. I don't buy that shit, bro. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. Once again, I look like a fool. Clearly, I got it wrong. As far as the skin tone, or what they call is white. I mean, he's still look white, right? But I guess he's Muslim, so now it's I think they try to scrub his stuff from the internet too, because he's actually a Democratic or a liberal Muslim, which I don't even know how that even works. To be honest with you, there'll be more conservative side, but then again, these political ideology lines don't even matter anymore because they just make shit up. They just keep rechanging so-called what they believe in and stuff, anyways. And I think there was reports talking about him and his family. This family was saying mental illness, so I got that part right. Gotta be mental illness, gotta be so-called loner and stuff like that. I think I said he was gonna be 25. He's 21. I said he was gonna be like 175.9. He looks more like 5'6", probably still like 170. It's a little. You know what? As you see this picture, right? And I'll describe it for you guys on the audio version of the podcast. This man is bleeding from his right leg. Understand that. It's the only blood I saw in the whole fucking video. And I said that I didn't watch the whole 3 hours of the live stream, but when I stopped watching, it was around like an hour and a half, 2 hours, I think. And the only reason I stopped watching because, well, the guy could no longer get close to the building. And then he started talking to people who wanted to interview him, other media outlets, stuff like that, saying, hey, can we get that footage from you? Can we do an interview with you? He's like, yeah. I mean, I'm still live streaming right now. I want to get this out and blah, blah. So, okay, yeah, let me know. Here's my contact information. Let me get that video from you. I was like, okay, that's cool. I guess that's how the media works. But yeah, the blood and violence, the gunshots lasted like, I think the guy was saying lasted like 10, 20 minutes, maybe something like that. Meanwhile, this same dude ran around the whole building with no fear of his life. No fear of his life whatsoever. Tell you, watch the video, bro. Watch the video because this seems like a psychological operation gone haywire. It seems like somebody interjected and messed up what they were doing. Some of it just, a lot of it just doesn't seem right. And that's the problem with these shootings because the details are always shady. And the details shouldn't be shady. because we all really want to know what's happening, what's going on, so we can, understand and try to prevent it from happening again, or at least see signs of something. And not the same shit they talk about all the time, mental illness. Yeah, like I said, you could easily turn me into one of these lone gunmen. I have mental illness, right? I talk about not liking the government, right? You can set me up easily. Only thing that probably keeps me is because of my skin tone. They can't push that narrative, so they don't know what to do with it. And you see a lot of mainstream media now. I realize why they didn't want to release this photo and stuff like that, because it didn't fit their mainstream narrative. They don't know what to do. The NPCs are so thrown off because like, whoa, 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 we're not used to that. We're not used to that. We don't know what to do with this. Their algorithm is messed up. Now they don't know what to report. They don't know what narrative to go with. Can't go with the white dude. You can't go with Islamic hating white people, because that's not the theme right now. I thought we're done with the Islamic hate, so we can't go with that anymore. But he's Islamic and then he's liberal. Oh man, it confuses the hell out of them. Like I said, it's almost like someone counter-op their own psyop. Like I said, I know it sounds crazy, but you should have to think about these things in a different perspective, because you can't take it for what it is as face value. Because even at face value, when you see with your own eye, there's too many plot holes. Sound like a bad movie script. Like I said, you can watch this as a TV show and believe this. You would turn this shit off, like, man, this shit's dumb. This is bad writing. Okay, let's see what the article talks about. It says dozens of agencies. That's what I'm talking about. Dozens of agencies, including FBI and ATF, are investigating. Why? It's one dude, bro. It's one dude. What investigation do you need? Here's the fucked up thing too. They actually took someone else, a taller individual, pale skinned white man, and he took him out. It's funny. I only say white people and black people on the podcast. I don't say it around my kids. I don't say it at all in real life. But I say it in the terms in which you guys can relate to and understand. I don't try to mention race at all anymore. I was throwing it out there. But anyways, they had some other dude held under arrest and stuff too. And after they already took this dude into custody. Huh. Right? That's interesting, right? Meanwhile, they still was up on top of the roof trying to get in entry. And then look who carries him out. I don't even know who the people that went in. You have two separate units showing that carrying the person out. You can tell by the body armor, by the Kevlar helmet, by the pants. You can tell by their outfits. 10 people identified or died or whatever. It says Ahmad Al-Awali Al-Isa. Man, I have a hard time saying that. Yeah, and I thought I remember some of the language. Psych. So this is some of his Twitter or Instagram posts. He said, I got 2 medals today, one in both divisions in the Naga Jiu-Jitsu tournament. Yeah, that's why I have people that friends that have done jiu-jitsu and talk about Naga, so that's why I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's grappling. So this dude is jiu-jitsu, a grappler. This is all over the place. Trump sucks dick. So he posted, it looks like he posted on his Facebook something from the Washington Post talking about the approach to refugees. He said, yeah, if these racist Islamophobic, how's that a word? Yeah, if these racist Islamophobic people would stop hacking my phone and let me have a normal life, I probably could. And he's replying to a post or something that he posted on Facebook. I guess trying to block some of his content or something like that. It said he goes to Metro University, computer engineer, computer science, and kickboxing. Even though he did jiu-jitsu. But this is some of the social media posts he had. Then list the names of the victims on his website. Let's see. I want to play this video. It says, warning, graphic video purportedly shows victims down and gunfire inside. That's graphic, but when you watch a movie, it's not considered graphic. But this is graphic because it's considered real. But who determines that it's real? Like, how do you determine all this is real? So it looks like this is a Toyota RAV4 because the guy recording the video, he said Toyota RAV4. So I'm assuming the suspect pulled up to, looks like I think this is an emergency or the handicap entrance because it has the ramps and stuff, something that somebody said in the video as well. So it looked like a guy pulled up. It looked like he pulled up and he shot someone and left him there. But he also shot someone, I'm guessing, behind. Like, did he just roll down the window and shoot someone and leave him dead? And then he rolled up to the emergency ramp or the handicap ramp, pulled his car up there, and then shot another person. Notice there's a lot of cars still in the parking lot. Oh man, let's see what it does.
Need 911 here now. We're at King Soopers in South Boulder, Table Mesa. We've got injured parties on the ground.
No, as I said, like, I'm just looking at this objectively. Doesn't mean I don't think people lost their lives. I'm just questioning what I see. That's it. That's it. Anyone feel some type of way? Oh, you can't do that. That's disrespectful. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm lying. I'm not lying. What I mean to say is I'm not sorry. I'm just questioning what I see objectively. No emotions here because you really have to question what you're watching because it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. No difference if you were a crime scene investigator and you were sitting here trying to investigate this crime and the layout of the bodies, you're trying to determine what happened. That's it. That's it. There's a vehicle at the stop sign, a body in the middle of the street. Why? How? How? What did the dude get out? What did I say? Did he drive by, shoot that person, pull up, and then shoot the other person? Then again, if that person heard the first gunshot, like, did he start shooting outside first? Or did he start shooting inside first? See where I'm going with this? Why? There's a lot of questions. When you remove the emotions, there's a lot of goddamn questions, man. And that's the part where I'm like, it's wild. It's wild, man.
911 now, people. We don't know if there's a shooter.
Shooter. We don't know if there's a shooter, but he just said there's 2 dead bodies. We don't know if there's a shooter. Then you have these 2 people standing there like, they're like, whatever, bro. Whatever, bro. This is the most casual you done seen people shooting. Right? This is the most casual shit you ever seen in your fucking life. Active shooter. Put yourself into this position. If there's an active shooter, what are you doing? You run your ass off, man. You're running, bro. You saying fuck it, man. Watch me turn into I can say Michael Johnson. He is an Olympic runner. Watch you turn into Usain Bolt. Right? Be literally the fastest fucking human being on recorded history. Out. Gone. But yet, he was just sitting here chilling. And why? This dude has his phone out. Why is he not, recording it too? No one else recorded this? Even though in one of the interviews, someone said that they were on their phone talking to one of their family members that was inside. Apparently, this guy that's recording his phone, he said his friend and his family, he has friends and family inside. But he also told reporters or press or somebody that he was outside in his car when he heard the gunshots. He went to his car and I don't know if he was getting ready to leave or whatever, but he went to his car and then when he got in, he heard the gunshots stuff. But if your friends and family are in the store, shouldn't they be with you as well? Or how does that work? How many times you been with someone in the store and you left first when you go sit in the car and wait on them in the store? In a grocery store. In a grocery store.
Active shooter somewhere. Could be in the store.
Yeah, he went in there.
He went in the store.
He went in there. He went right down there. Yeah, he went in there. He went right down there. Yeah, he went in there. He went right down there. Bro, why are you not gone? I'll be in my goddamn car, long gone. Hey, y'all need a witness? Call me after the fact. I'm getting home. I'm getting safe. Like, if you can't do nothing for anybody else, save yourself. Somebody got to live to tell the story. Where are the witnesses at that live? We seen them running out. In this video, you see them running out. I don't know if this whole clip is going to show it because it looks like it's a post from Instagram. And man, I'm really trying to contemplate if I really want to do a whole video breakdown of this video and highlight some different things and stuff like that. But I don't even know if I want to do that because that could be several hours long, man. There's so many questions that just doesn't add up.
Oh my.
So, shit.
God.
There's a body right here laying on the floor. Once again, no blood. No blood. I mean, let's be honest, bro. Let's be honest, man. You telling me people got shot and stuff. I don't see no blood. I don't see no blood. You're telling me it's graphic. So why I'm questioning this? Because they said it's graphic footage. But yet you see no blood. Bodies laying down does not mean they're dead. You could be passed out. You could just be us, just the same thing as asleep. You could just be hurt. You could be something, anything. You could be playing dead. Just in case. Just in case the shooter is still around. Or you could be playing dead as an exercise. I don't even know if they identified these people as being the dead bodies, as being the ones that died. I don't even know if these bodies are the same people. Then again, don't they usually not do something like this? No media outlets usually don't show things like this unless the people have been identified. And then even so, they still try not to show things like this because, you want to have respect for the families. I don't know if it breaks down the rest of this or maybe some other news publication article talks about this, but who are these bodies, bro? Who are these bodies? Who are these bodies? So he went around the corner, he just shot this person. So you see in the trail, I guess. So it looked like it started outside, and then inside, and then he's around somewhere in the store. No one's trying to run out. No one's trying to escape. It's one suspect, one shooter. And this is from the cops on scene saying that, asking them to surrender. The clip I showed in episode 107, yesterday's episode. It's one person. Nobody else trying to run out. Nobody else taking their chances. Nobody else saying, hey, bro, I'm going to take my chances. I don't think you that great of a shot. I don't think that great of a shot. I'm going to take my chances. Not even that. You're in a grocery store, bro. There's a lot of odds. Look, that's cover. That's cover. That's cover. That's things that can slow down the bullet. Let's say bullets ricochet. And I think the caliber of weapon he used was ended up being they said it was an AR-556, so that's 5.56. That's NATO rounds. Those bullets are huge, but they can still ricochet off the concrete if you hit it a certain way, man. Like they can still ricochet off certain things, man. Well, once again, where's the blood? Like these are questions you have to ask because if you were investigating this crime scene, that's exactly what you would be asking. You would remove emotions from it and, go about your job. Me as a regular person watching this, I'm asking questions because why would I not? I want to understand what's going on because I can't trust the official narrative. I can't trust what Florida. I can't trust what police officials in Colorado are saying. I can't. I just can't. Why is that? Because these things never really add up. Why is the FBI, ATF, why is the ATF involved, bro? Why are they involved? Was a bomb found there? The firearm, I don't believe, was illegal. Why are they involved? Right? Why is the FBI involved? Is that a federal crime? It's a local shooting. Shouldn't the local police department handle it? There's one guy. We saw him get handcuffed and arrested and carried out. There's one guy. Why you need all these different agencies? Why is everybody suited up? This dude don't even have no body armor on, bro. He has no body armor on. Hell, shit, he ain't got no goddamn shirt on. What happened? He got into a struggle. He lost his shirt and his pants. Like he just walk around in boxes. But did he strip this dude naked? Like, come on, man. These are questions.
People down inside King Supers.
Active shooter inside. 2 people standing at the door. And like it's just nothing. Another day. 1 body on the floor. I can't tell that that's blood or not. Maybe it is. I still can't tell if it is or not. But active shooter inside, and this dude gonna go look inside and stick his head in and try to see what he can see. Oh, I guess we got this fearless journalism. That's who kept calling himself, I'm a journalist. No press credentials though.
Look, there's holy shit.
1 shot, 2 shots.
God damn it.
Holy shit, god damn it. 1 shot, 2 shot. I don't know about you. Taking off, bro. I'm taking off running, man. You're gonna see a whole type of different Olympic speed you never saw before in me. I'm taking the fuck off. I'm running. Or at least duck. Get behind the wall, something, anything. Like I said, you guys watch that video on your own, man. Like, that is wild, bro. It's wild. I'm sure you can find a link somewhere online. Like I said, I posted on my YouTube and Odyssey channel under the video on the video version of the podcast for episode 107. Like, come on, man. It says post form Alisa's Facebook page, which has since been deleted, showed his displeasure with former President Donald Trump, although it's not known if Alisa's rampage was politically motivated. Doesn't fit nobody's narratives because they can't go with that. Like, you imagine what mainstream media would do? They would lose they're like, damn, man, we can't sit here and promote this dude hating Trump supporters. That goes against everything we talked about. It's supposed to be angry white men. Everybody thought it was going to be a white dude. Everybody, because this is what they always show us. If these things are real and occurring, then it would be a different type of people happening. But they're not. And what the hell happened to the whole... Oh, that's odd. Let me reload the page. And all of a sudden just start showing a black screen. Man, the most wildest shit be happening, man. the most random things, like all of a sudden it's just a black screen. I guess it's supposed to be the ads or something. Oh wow. So now that the screen's just showing black and just messing up, huh? I'm really gonna sit here and believe. Let's see if I can do something to it. Probably not though. Trying to optimize and now clear up some RAM memory. That's the same thing twice. Clear up some RAM. But you see it's trying to show different things from his Facebook, social media pages. And is this blacked out intentionally? It says, so Mary wears a hijab and Jesus doesn't eat pork and something, knees and hands. They're both Muslims. It's obvious. Oh, I guess then they pray on their knees and hands. They're both Muslims. It's obvious. It's something from his Facebook page in 2019. And damn, it's really not showing this shit, bro. It's really not showing it. I don't even know what to do to even fix it. I mean, it's just a web page. Huh. That's so wild, bro. That is so wild, man. Then again, those that have been following the podcast, man, how does this weird shit like this happen while I'm recording and live streaming, man? Like, it's just black. It's just black. The webpage is just parts are just blacked out, bro. Oh my god. I've never seen no shit like this before. I don't even know what to do with it. Other than refresh the page and stuff. Maybe I could bring it back up. Oh man. Okay, whatever. We're just gonna go on to the next topic. The next one is about gun control anyway, so I can't believe that happened, man. But yeah, you guys definitely, man, you get a chance, watch the video. Watch the first like 20 minutes of it. Because after the first 20 minutes alone, would just fuck your head up. Because there's so many questions. You're like, for real, these old couple behind the building just walking around. The dude ran around the whole building. Ran around the whole building. Fire truck comes up. Ambulance is apparently, who knows where the ambulance is at. You don't really see nobody get carried out. You don't see no bodies get carried out. Maybe later on in the video, I don't know. Didn't see it happening. You see the suspect come out in custody. He's bleeding. That's the only blood you see. And also, the man has no goddamn shirt on. So you take that for what it's worth too. He has no shirt on for whatever reason. You know, he has no shirt on. I guess got in a tussle with them or whatever, and whatever. I still can't believe that happened. The webpage, man. Huh, and now it's fine. I clicked off of it. It went away. I clicked back on it, and now it's fine. Whatever. Let's see if we can see something else before we go on to the next topic. Then he went to Arvada West High School. It says he made a post saying the Muslims at the hashtag Christchurch mosque were not the victims of a single shooter. They were the victims of the entire Islamophobia industry that vilified them. And this is from 2019. These are all old posts. It says the alleged shooter's brother told CNN he suffers from mental illness. I told you guys it's going to happen. He was bullied in school, so there you go. You're a so-called loner, antisocial, for being Muslim, and people made fun of his name. People made fun of his name. Ahmad. That's one of the most popular names in the world. Ahmad. I grew up with somebody named Ahmad. Wasn't even Muslim. Two people, actually. Wasn't even Muslim. Didn't hear nobody making fun of their names. Okay. It says in hours after the shooting, talking about Democrats politics, which we're going to get into. Obama made a statement. Get the fuck out of here. Let's see what this Obama statement says. Michelle and I are grieved with the families of the victims of the shooting in Boulder, just as we grieve with the families of the people killed in Atlanta and everyone else who has lost a loved one to gun violence. Coming from the man who literally killed people with drones. Coming from the man who when I was deployed was talking about, oh, that we're going to pull troops out of Afghanistan. I was sitting there thinking, yeah, man, this deployment sucks. Well, good thing I ain't going to be here this long. Next thing you know, I was there for the whole full 6 months plus. We don't like gun violence, but we'll definitely send someone overseas to, have gun violence. What a hypocrite, bro. These presidents, these politicians, these people in government, hypocritical people, the most hypocritical people you can imagine, man. Says we are also grateful for the courage of Officer Eric Talley, who ran into danger to protect others. And see, that's another thing too, because in the video I seen 3 officers running in. Which, let's be honest, is that the correct tactical procedure that you need to take at that time? Or do you wait for more backup? Or do you make sure you have complete eyes on what's going on inside the facility, inside the grocery store? Because it's like a goddamn maze in there. You wouldn't know exactly where he's at. Unless you find some way to get access to the camera first. So you're supposed to get eyes in there first so you can understand the situation in which you're going into. You don't run in blindly, bro. You don't run in blindly. And the way that they're depicting it is as if they ran in there blindly. And they're calling it heroic, but you're running in there blindly. And what I'm telling you is based off of military training. And they'll tell you the same thing, like, hey, who you think you are? You're just going to run in there and save everybody, do everything. No, you gotta sit here and wait. You gotta make sure you pay attention, because next thing you know, your life is lost, and then it's on the line, and everyone else got to worry about it. And then even the officers in the video, the other law enforcement agencies, people in the video, didn't seem like there was no sense of urgency. There was no sense of urgency, man. I'm telling you, watch the video. Watch the video. There was no sense of urgency. None whatsoever. You know, I'll make sure I'll link the video, or I'll retweet the video on Twitter and Gab. Because that wow, oh my God, bro, that makes no sense, bro. That makes no sense. How can you even do it like that? Right? How can you even have it that way? How can you just 3 officers run in and 1 gets shot? Then I guess, like, where was he shot at? When did they drag the body out? Or when did they pull the body out? Because in addition to grief, we are also feeling a deep, familiar outrage that we as a nation continue to tolerate these kinds of random, senseless acts day in and day out. Who says they're random? Who says they're random? Without taking any significant action. What action are you gonna take? You know what it is. An outrage that people in Colorado have known far too often over the years. Because the only people in Colorado seem, you know what, let me not even say that before. The next thing you know, something happened here near my city or something like that. Don't come over here fucking with me. Don't come over here fucking with me. We already had our shootings in Florida, man. You guys did it to us. Yeah, no more, bro. We're good. We don't need that type of shit going on in our lives. I ain't trying to have no mass shooting, nothing down here. They already want to take away people's things from the government anyways. So what I'm doing right now, I am sharing into my my Twitter and my Gab. Because I wasn't going to do it. But man, it's seeing how I didn't see nothing really graphic in the video. And seeing how YouTube has no problem sharing it. I guess we all could share, right? That's probably not gonna go over well, but hey, it is what it is, man. Let's see. Let's finish reading the rest of this real quick. It says, in so many ways, our lives may soon start to return to normal after a long, difficult year filled with so much loss. But in a normal life, we should be able to buy groceries without fear. Didn't I not tell you? Didn't I tell you? Every time these active shooters, these mass shootings happen, they always, all of a sudden, they make you afraid to go to places, make you afraid to go to a movie, make you afraid to go to school. Now you're afraid to go to the grocery store. I guess these delivery services are going to get even more money. And nobody going to, what is it, Instacart? Everybody going to be, Instacart going to see receive a surge in traffic and stuff like that. More revenue, more customers. We should be able to go to school. It's like I could write these things, bro, because it's so on schedule. It's so part of a plan. We should be able to go to school or go out with our friends or worship together without mentally planning our escape if someone shows up with a gun. You know what helped too? Having your own goddamn gun. You show up with a gun if you want to. Guess what I got? My own goddamn gun as well. Welcome to the party. Oh man, it's about to do the same thing again. It just did. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe it's one of my programs on here or something. Let's see. We should, but in America we can't. Yeah, because, you know. But don't worry, tons of people want to come to America still. I don't know how that works out, logically speaking. How we're afraid to go to church, afraid to go to school, afraid to go to the grocery store, but tons of people still want to come to America and live. I don't know how that works out logically in people's heads, but that's where we're at. says long past time for those with the power to fight this pandemic of gun violence. Oh, excuse me, epidemic. I'm so used to saying pandemic, epidemic of gun violence to do so. Wasn't this man a senator in Illinois? Doesn't Chicago have gun violence and mass shootings all the time? I think a mass shooting is like anything over 4. Isn't that like a weekend in Chicago? It will take time to root out the disaffection, racism, and misogyny that fuels so many of these senseless acts of violence, even though none of these motives have been at all in this shooting and the shooting last week. But we can make it harder for those with hate in their hearts to buy weapons of war. We can overcome opposition by cowardly politicians and the pressure of gun lobby that opposes any limit on the ability of anyone to assemble an arsenal. Meanwhile, the United States government has a goddamn arsenal, by definition. We can and we must. A once-in-a-century pandemic cannot be the only thing that slows mass shootings in this country. We shouldn't have to choose between one type of tragedy and another. It's time for leaders everywhere to listen to American people when they say enough is enough, because this is a normal we can no longer afford. So we have an article here from Reuters. Don't worry, we're going to get more into what he said. Biden calls for tighter gun control measures after Colorado shooting. Right off the bat, bro. You go right into it. Fuck it. Let's get everybody's guns. Since U.S. President Joe Biden on Tuesday called for a ban on assault weapons and tighter gun control measures as he stepped into the familiar role of grief counselor for a traumatized nation after a mass shooting left 10 people dead in Colorado. I don't want to wait another minute, let alone another hour, to take common sense steps that will save lives in the future, Biden said, adding that we can ban assault weapons. You guys think it's going to start with assault? You think it's just going to end there? Next thing you know, it's shotguns. Next thing you know, it's handguns. Next thing you know, it's a goddamn taser, mace, pepper spray, fucking a knife. Then what? Everybody better start doing jiu-jitsu or something, bro. You better start learning some kickboxing class. Better start becoming a karate kid or something, because you ain't got no way to defend yourself as far as the weaponry. Meanwhile, what are they going to do with all the guns? You think they really just gonna like melt it down or something and use up the metal? Like, what do you think they're gonna do with the guns, bro? You don't think they're gonna resell that shit somewhere to some little cell that so they could overthrow some dictator or some person they claim as a dictator in some foreign country? The government does not get rid of assets that they seize. They reutilize those assets in a different manner. That's how you build up your own inventory. It says this is not and should not be a partisan issue, Biden said at the White House. It's an American issue that will save lives, American lives. We must act. You know what saves American lives? Making sure all these local governments and everything open back up. Making sure you get the economy straight. Right? Make sure that you can't you're able to pay out or have the money, get the infrastructure up, get the economy going up. So now everybody, generations of offspring will have to pay for all these stimulus checks, this 1.9 trillion relief package, and then they already talking about a $3 trillion relief package. Where the fuck you guys think the money is coming from, bro? Where the fuck is the money coming from, man? That's the biggest question. It says we can ban assault weapons and high capacity magazines in this country once again. High capacity, I'm assuming, is what, anything over 15? That's over that. That's usually something that's bigger as assault rifle. 15. If you have a big 9mm. Oh my God. It says Biden spoke before leaving Washington for Columbus, Ohio, a visit where he will mark the 11th anniversary of the signing of the Affordable Care Act, known as Obamacare, blah, blah, blah. The mass shooting in Boulder, follow gunmen's. Okay, we know that. Biden, whose personal life has been marked by lost. Dude, nobody gives a shit about him. Let's see. Anything else? Anything as far as legislation? Biden in recent weeks has promoted a coronavirus stimulus bill while grappling with a merge of migrants along the U.S. border of Mexico. Now in this 2-month-old administration faces increased pressure to fulfill promises on gun regulation. I don't understand this thing about people wanting to give up their guns and not have guns. What do you think the guns are for? Pay attention to history. It's for government. It's for government. Because when the citizens can't protect themselves from the government, from a authoritarian power, you're screwed. You're screwed. Because we all can say, oh, you know, I do what I want, blah, blah, and stuff like that. But what are you going to do when, I don't know, you got a fucking gun pointed at your head? What's going to happen? How Hitler take over and stuff? What happened in Nazi Germany? People did a lot of things when they had a gun pointing at their head. Changed a lot of people's perspectives, make people do a lot of things they don't want to do. Easy to round up people when they don't have no weapons to defend themselves. It's hard to go into someone's house when you know they're armed, as opposed to when you know without a doubt they're not armed because you already got their weapon. You don't give a shit. You're like, what are you going to do? I got a gun. What are you going to do? By the time you even try to throw anything at me, it doesn't matter. Unless you're some world champion knife thrower, it shit really doesn't fucking matter, bro. Out throwing kitchen knives, that shit ain't that sharp. Well, you think you Freddy? Not Freddy. You think you Jason? Oh, the guns are to protect themselves. We're just gonna shit on the Second Amendment. Clearly, I guess for the constitutional experts, oh well, it doesn't really say this here. Now, why would you go that route? Why are you sitting here trying to dissect something to have some specific interpretation that you want to have? The right to bear arms is a right to bear arms. It's not a fucking right that a government can give you. The God-given right is your inalienable rights that no one can take from you. You understand that? Like, your right to defend yourself is your right to defend yourself. And the United States government and governments around the world, and hell, for that matter, private securities. You never heard of private military companies or corporations, PMCs? You know, they fight wars overseas in the Middle East. So you have private military companies, they have their weapons. You have governments, they have their weapons. Private security companies, they have their weapons. Security officers authorized to have a weapon. But you ain't got no goddamn weapon? You can't have a weapon, but all these other people can have a weapon. All these other people can have an assault rifle or whatever. But you can't have one. Because you think it's going to start with AR-15s or any type of so-called assault rifle? You really think it's going to just stop right there? This is the beginning of it. But once they get that, guess what? All of a sudden, we'll see mass shootings with 9mm weapons, 38 snubs, shotguns, 45s, 40 calibers, Glocks. What happens when they come for your handgun? Shit, what's next? A goddamn bow and arrow, bro? Like, what are we coming with, man? I can't have a katana blade? Like, it's, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile because the government has already shown that they will do that. 15 days to slow the spread. Where are we at a year later? Still doing some of the same shit they still want us to do in certain parts of the country. Lockdowns, restrictions, curfews, all this stuff. And it all started with 15 days to slow the spread. You give them an inch, they'll take a fucking mile and run with that motherfucker. Long gone and keep on going. And then they get so much steam, they get so much speed, they take off running. You ain't gonna be able to catch them. Where does it end? Where does it end? United States government can have thousands of nuclear warheads, ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. They can have all these different things. You can't have an AR-15. You can't have a rifle that shoots a 22 long rifle caliber weapon, Winchester. You can't have that. But they can have satellites that shoot fucking lasers out. They can have sonic weapons, crowd deterrents that play a loud noise that fucks up your ears. They can have bean bags. They can shoot at you and shit. They can have tasers. They can have all this different stuff to combat the regular everyday person that might have one gun. They got RPGs, all types of different things. You can't have an AR-15, right? I'm just trying to, like, how does that cope with some people? You're trusting people that you have no idea who they are to protect you in your everyday life. And I get it. That's what officers, what people in the military, that's what they do. Because actually, a lot of us, is what you want to do. You do want to help out people. You do want to protect. Everybody, those people tend to have good intentions. You might have someone with a little bad intentions, but those bad intentions usually come up over the years. It's not from there initially. But still, that goes without saying, because your ability to protect yourself, whose responsibility is that? You. You're responsible for your own protection. Because if you don't care about protecting yourself, do you actually expect someone else to care about protecting you? If you don't care about taking care of yourself, how can you expect someone else to care about you? As far as I know, nobody cares more about me than me. I don't know about you, but you can call it selfish if you want to. No one on this planet Earth, no one in this human existence cares more about me than me. I think that's something I talked about before. I told my kids, like, look, man, no one cares more about you than you. I can say I love you and all this other stuff, everything, but there's no way I care more about you than you. And that's just being honest, man. Let's be honest. Because no one can care more about yourself than you. Because no one is more in tune with yourself than you. Because no one understands you better than you. You might run away from who you are. You might try to deny who you are. You might try to make excuses for who you are. But at your core, you still know who the fuck you are. Even though you don't want to accept it, even though you don't want to think about it, you still know who you are. So you are your ultimate protection because you care the most about your own personal safety. But they're telling you you can't have a weapon for your own personal safety. Meanwhile, they got weapons for their own personal safety and to use against you in case they feel like they need to use it against you. Like, what? Were we making sense here? We're making sense here? What happens? What happens when someone is carrying a weapon in the grocery store? What happens when there's a security guard on duty and they have a weapon? I'm not saying that there should be a security guard on place all the time. And also, I'm just throwing out this hypothetical situation for a little context. Like, do these mass shootings still occur if someone has a gun on them? If anything, does not give another level of deterrence? If you were, would there be more mass shootings? Or would there be mass shootings if people knew that there's a possibility that whoever they're talking to, whoever they're dealing with, might have a gun on them or somewhere near them, maybe in their vehicle or something like that, somewhere, anywhere, in their purse, something. You'll think twice about shit you're gonna do, right? Is that not why the United States government has nuclear weapons as a deterrent, even though no one else has launched a nuclear weapon other than the United States government? Well, let's say, should take that back, on an actual opponent or enemy land, another governing nation, anything like that. Because of course they're always launching shit out in the middle of the sea and testing their weapons and stuff like that. It's funny because we don't talk about pollution when we talk about, I don't know, exploding a nuclear bomb in the middle of the desert in Arizona or Nevada or whatever, or dropping one off in the Pacific Ocean. We don't talk about the environment then, even though, I don't know about you, dropping a nuclear bomb in the middle of the Pacific Ocean doesn't sound like the most environmental friendly thing you can do, right? That's just me. Kind of suspicious. It's kind of interesting though. Seems to be a lot of radiation. But what happens when you can, if this gunman, or both these gunmen, right? Was it Robert Long, something like that, and then Ahmad Al Issa, whatever his name is. If these two people, you know what I just thought about? It throws away the narrative that he's not white, or only white people get taken into custody. Ha, they don't. Also, a bomber for the Boston Marathon, I think he got taken into custody too, right? Yeah, because they're talking about giving the death penalty to him and stuff. Something. But it's interesting because would they react the same way if they knew there was a possibility someone at those locations might have a gun? Somebody in that grocery store might have a gun. You might think a little bit differently, right? You might not just walk through there through the front door like it's nothing, thinking that, oh, I'm good because nobody else got a gun in here. What if someone had a gun in their car and they rushed back in there to be a hero and said, nah, man, fuck this. You ain't finna come shooting at me. I'm trying to get my goddamn groceries. Sitting here fucking up my day. Where's my gun at? And then you go on a rampage. Or not, I shouldn't say rampage, but then you go try to take him down. Are you a vigilante or are you a hero? I mean, we consider Batman a hero, but he's a vigilante, right? Are all heroes not vigilantes? Do they not operate outside of the law, outside of the government, outside of any authority? Isn't that what Captain America's Civil War was about? Questioning what makes you a hero, what makes you a vigilante? You know what makes you a hero? Other people calling you a hero. Because you personally, the individual, you're just making a choice based on the things that you're thinking of trying to do the things that you're trying to do. Because you care about someone else. It seems like what makes you a hero is because you put other people first. But are we all heroes? You're not telling me within your lifetime you haven't put someone else before you in a relationship, family, friends, kids? You haven't put someone else before you? A coworker at work? Maybe they wanted a day off and you're thinking you need a day off, but they got something going on in their family, in their life, and they really are pleading to you like, hey, I really need this day off. I got this going on. And you say, okay, that's fine. You go ahead and take it. Are you sure? Because I know you got something going on. Nah, that's fine. You just put that person above you, or you put that person before you. Does that not make you a hero? You thought selflessly, right? Is that not what heroes do? Think selflessly. God, that was hard. They think selflessly. I guess they're selfishly acting as well, too. Oh, no, I said that wrong. Whatever, you get what I'm saying. So, once again, this whole gun control thing, I kind of went off on something else. This whole gun control thing, why is it a topic if it's about safety? It's the most idiotic thing when you're talking about personal safety to give up your ability to have personal safety. I mean, a lot of us ain't walk around with lethal weapons for hands, so we ain't goddamn Steven Seagal or nothing. So I need a taser, air taser. I need a gun, something, bro. In order to protect the public, they're taking guns away from people, thus removing their ability to protect themselves, thus no longer protecting the public. But once again, they're saying, don't worry, we'll protect you. They're opening up the doors to the point of the fact where it's a dependent population. We depend on some type of centralization authority or centralized authority. Whether it's government, where you call it government, where you call it a corporation, it doesn't fucking matter. This is all being set up for us to be controlled by some centralized authority figure, authority establishment. You need money, right? They tell you, they shut down business, they fuck people's jobs up, they fuck people's abilities to make money, different job stuff. So they're saying, don't worry, we'll take care of you. Here's money. And then this next stimulus package, they're talking about even more stimulus checks. Oh, don't worry, here's some more money. So they make you dependent financially. They're trying to make you dependent as far as your health goes, because of COVID-19 is saying, don't worry, you wear this mask, you take this shot, you do what we tell you to do. We know how to keep you healthy, right? They shut down gyms, but don't worry, they know how to keep you healthy. Once again, they're making you dependent. Now from a health standpoint, from a health perspective. Spirituality, that's just gone. Because they already attacked religion. And I can kind of, if they attack religion with the okie-doke thing, like, oh no, religion sounds controlling, it's controlling. Yeah, you're right, it is controlling. But at least the controlling figure outside of Catholicism is a supreme being. Someone of not of this earth, someone of higher power, higher intelligence, wisdom, stuff like that. Or the ultimate creator. Something like that. They getting rid of all that stuff in spirituality and saying, oh, no, we'll take care of you. We'll look out for you. We know what's best for you. So there goes that. And now we're attacking personal safety. saying making us dependent by saying, "Oh, you don't need no guns, you don't need this." Like we'll take care of you. We'll provide safety for you. Sounds like a dependent population to me. Sounds like no dependent or independence whatsoever. Sounds like no independent individual thought whatsoever. Because it's going to start with AR or assault rifles, whatever. It's going to start with rifles, then they'll work their way to the next thing. Because a gun is a gun. Caliber of bullet doesn't matter. Shot placement matters than anything. I shoot you in the fucking eye. Wherever I shoot you with, you're going to have a bad day. Regardless of the size, caliber of the bullet. I don't care if I shoot you with a goddamn BB gun, bro. You're going to have a bad day if I shoot you in the fucking eye. You understand? Like, it's going to fuck up some things. I don't care if I shoot you with a 22 bullet. Guess what? You're going to have a bad day if I shoot you in the eye. If I shoot you in the face. If I shoot you in the mouth. Like, you're going to have a bad day if I'm up close on your temple and I blow your brains out. It's going to be a bad day no matter the size, caliber of the bullet, bro. So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter about the caliber of the bullet, the magazines, none of that stuff. It's still a gun. It's still a bullet. They're going to start somewhere and they're going to work their way down. They're going to take away what they see as the most really effective measure first, because when you're talking about a rifle, that's the ability to shoot long distances as opposed to a handgun. You're only going to cover about 25 yards, which is what, like 30 meters, something like that. I'm probably way off, but it's something in that nature. As opposed to with a rifle, you can cover a good 300 meters easily, even with a 22 long range caliber bullet. You can still get a good about 300 meters. You might have to worry about wind adjustment stuff, but whatever. You can still get a good shot off and cause some damage. You see where I'm going at? Because what's someone trying to defend their land? They're probably from the government trying to take over and stuff, like your Waco, Texas, something like that. Somebody trying to defend their own property and stuff. It's hard to have a wider range of defense with just a handgun as opposed to a rifle. You see where I'm getting at? You're slowly cutting out the playing field. I'm decreasing the size of your area of scope ability to protect yourself or provide your own personal safety protection against anybody that might be an opposing threat to you. I take away the rifle, that 300 meter distance drops down about 30 meters, about 25 yards, or where you're going to get good accuracy. Let alone not talking about you ain't gonna put too much, you're not gonna be too many scopes on a handgun anyways too. So you know what I'm saying? Now you can only shoot so far because you can only see so far, and because a bullet will only go so far before it drops anyways. Gravity, or whatever we call gravity, is gonna happen. See how easily this shit can be planned out, man? You put people on a dependent measure, they will have to, you put people in a situation where they have to be dependent and relying on someone else. They're giving up their control without even realizing it. We're giving up our control over our health, control over our personal safety, control over our finances, our so-called free market, control over spirituality, what you can believe in, where you can pray at and stuff like that. I mean, what else you have in life, bro? Your personal relationships, they're already knocking on the door with that. They're already knocking on the door with that, man. by having to be all over the place and stuff. And anyone can have any relationship they want to have and stuff, but you see they're dictating certain things. Whether it's more of a push for same-sex relationships, which is fine too, but I don't like when it's a push for anything. That's what I'm saying. When it's a push for something, that means there's a motive behind it. There's an ulterior motive behind it, and it's not that goody two-shoes shit that they're trying to pull on us. Because this seems like the most fakest act of somebody trying to do something as civility, or trying to be, oh, look, we really care about everybody. We're really super nice. No, you're not. No, you're not. You have that person that you met before in your life, and they were just a little too fucking nice. Hell, I think I talked about it before in one episode. You can't be too nice to a female sometimes from a male perspective. I've been too nice, and girls be like, oh, I don't trust that. You're just too nice. I don't trust it. It seems like a fake. It seems like a facade. And I understand that because, guess what? The same asshole or an asshole is going to try to take advantage of you, sexually, physically, whatever, take advantage of your finances. Next thing you know, they get involved in emotional, domestic violence, emotional abuse relationship, domestic violence, stuff like that. They always were nice at the beginning. They played the old okie doke, got something, pull one over on you. You know, you fell for the trick. That's it. And they got you. That's the same thing the government tactics is playing out. Oh, we'll take care of you. Oh, we need to stop this. This is such a disaster. This is so dangerous. You can have a mass shooting once a month, and it still would be 0.0000 some percent chance of happening. 12 times out of the year, it still would be a extremely small percentage chance of it happening. How come when this shit happens, the first thing they talk about is taking away someone's gun? Why is that the first thing they always jump to? We don't even talk about mental illness. They don't want us to talk about the mental illness, because if you talk about mental illness with these people, you might find out that the mental illness comes from somewhere. Someone was fucking with their brain. We talk about MK Ultra. You know what? I think I'm gonna have to do an episode on that. Oh my god, I'm really gonna be, yeah, whatever. They're already probably watching, listening to me anyway. Who cares? Hey, once again, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. See how I did MK Ultra. I didn't come up with the fucking program. It's not my fault. You know what? Yeah, I think we're gonna look into that. There was some other stuff I still want to look into, but yeah, I think MK Ultra sounds like a good time. It sounds like a good time to talk about this. It sounds like a really good time to talk about this. You know that movie with Denzel Washington that was a remake of the same movie from like earlier, from like, I think like the 60s, 70s, something like that, Manchurian Candidate? Look up Manchurian Candidate. Watch that movie. Do your own research, bro. Then you put it in TV shows where you could flip a switch on someone and then they all of a sudden become this super soldier or something like that. I think Jesse Eisenberg and what's that girl's name? I think it's Kirsten Stewart, whatever her name is. I think she was in there. Yeah, they did a movie. Where this dude was taking over and stuff, and then she was his CIA handler and stuff, and she ended up falling in love with him, but he was just like a sleeper. He was like a sleeper soldier and stuff that after a couple of key words, bam, snapped into a different mode and he went off. MK Ultra. It's crazy. If I talk about it, it's called conspiracy theory. CIA talks about it, has all these documents about it. No one says anything. They put the shit in movies. No one says anything. And you wonder how these mass shootings happen? The writings on the wall kind of looks kind of suspicious, right? Man, I can't believe shit is happening to us, bro. I can't believe shit is happening to us. Like we're living in such a time where to call this shit a movie is an understatement. To say that we are in real time living in a movie where you can't trust anything that you see, you can't trust anything that you hear, because you don't know what's real and what's not. I just showed you a video of a so-called mass shooting, yet the only blood you saw was on the suspect. I showed you a video of a guy recording a mass shooting and stuff, yet dude, oh, they're shooting. He's still at the entrance. You really think that's journalism? I don't care what brave cameraman you might have in the world. You don't know what straight bullets are? You don't know what ricochet bullets are? And they're shooting, yet those two people walk up, as we seen the guy walk up to the entrance, those two people just like, oh yeah, the guy went around the corner. He just on his phone. What do you mean the guy went around the corner? Why are you standing here? They're like, call 911. Somebody call somebody. Aren't you on the phone? And people kept calling him. When you watch the video, people kept calling him. And it's like, I can't answer the phone right now. You know, I'm doing a live stream and stuff. I don't want to mess it up. Even though he said he has friends and family members in the store. I don't know about you, but my friends and family members calling me and they're in the store. I don't think I'll be live streaming anymore. I think there's other priorities I should probably pay attention to. That's just me. Everyone does their own thing, to each their own. Everyone reacts differently in a situation. Me personally, I probably answer the phone. I don't know if I was live streaming, if I was trying to record, trying to provide evidence or something like that. I would answer the phone if my friends, our family members, our friends and family members are in the store. Yeah. They might be dying. They might be bleeding out. They might want to give, they might be calling you to tell you their last words. But don't worry. He didn't end his live stream. He just said, I'll just call him back. Then again, I guess you got caller ID anyways, right? So he knows it's somebody in the store. I guess he would know it's like, oh, well, it's not so-and-so because they're in the store, so they're not calling me. Then again, why is he not trying to call those people in the store either? Send a text message or something. I mean, people have iPhones, people have whatever. All you gotta do is flip a button and then all of a sudden it goes on silent. So vibrating at the worst case scenario, that's it. My ringer, I haven't turned my ringer on in fucking 5, 6 years, 7 years. I don't even know. I don't even remember. My phone stayed on silent. No vibration whatsoever either. So there's a lot of questions about it. But the push for gun control is alarming as well. Because these things always go hand in hand. Because this is not a normal reaction to a situation. A normal reaction to a situation would be to react to the situation itself. Not have a push for gun control, not talking about misogyny or racist comment. No. You will pay attention to the case itself and the individuality of the case itself. After you collect all the data, all the information, all the evidence and stuff, and after you get the suspect under, where you got him under arrest, official charges, all different things, you got a trial and legal proceedings going, then you can kind of talk about, hey, are there any global implications to this, or does it have any, is there any global, or not global, rather nationwide association with this? Is this an epidemic? Is this something for a cause, for a concern? Because you can't just say, oh, there's a shooting here, a mass shooting this week, and another mass shooting this week. Bro, there's a shooting every damn day in America. Somebody's getting murdered every damn day in America, I believe is the statistic of the way it goes. Yet, you don't hear about that. So, when we're talking about one person dying, it's not epidemic. As far as gun control or gun laws, gun reform, anything like that. But when it's a mass shooting, the first thing that comes up is gun reform, gun control, gun laws. Huh. Interesting, right? Look at how many people actually get murdered every year. But we're not talking about guns from cops, so I guess they're talking about defund the police too. So you defund the police. I wonder do people realize they're talking about defund when they're talking about defunding the police. This means they're just talking about from a local level standpoint. You would think the United States government would go with no law enforcement agency? They'll just implement a national federal law enforcement agency, which thus then would kind of get rid of state laws and local legislation. Because if you have federal police officers enforcing, what are they going to enforce? They're going to enforce federal police laws. Or federal policies, federal laws. This is kind of going all over the place, man. Not just what I'm saying, but just as far as what we've been dealing with this past year, man. People have to wake up. I say you guys, obviously, if you listen to me, you are waking up. You are, God, I fucking hate saying that word. You are starting to realize the obvious. You're no longer falling for the okie doke. You're no longer falling for the tricks. You're no longer falling for this fake morality that these people are trying to proceed to have. Your Obamas, your Clintons, your whoever. Like I said, it doesn't matter who you throw in there. Distrust everybody. Distrust everybody. Not from necessarily a negative standpoint, but just go into it with caution, I should say. Because I don't want to say that you should never trust anybody and stuff like that. That's not necessarily good, but I say trust people to a certain degree. I don't trust nobody fully because human beings are human beings. They will make mistakes and they will make decisions for egotistical reasons. There's a plethora of reasons why someone makes a decision. So I can't trust. Only thing I can trust is somebody to make a decision. Wherever it is, it will be wherever it is. But trust somebody to take some type of action or do some type of thing. This whole push for gun control, man, this shit is really creepy, man. We're talking about dystopian lifestyle that is trying to be pushed on the American people, and yet you're telling me if you want to come to America, why would you want to come here? Why would you come? If you're talking about freedoms, liberties, to do what you want to do, to rise in your economic class, your economic status through free market, through capitalism, does it actually sound like that's what America is about right now? Does that actually sound what America has been about these past decades? I see more rules, more laws, placing caps on individual investors, a chance for them to improve their situation economically speaking, financially speaking. With the whole Wall Street bets thing and stuff, Wall Street getting mad at regular people doing the same money game that Wall Street does. They do it. All of a sudden, everybody's mad. Government officials saying, "Oh no, we can't do this. Can't mess up Wall Street." Why? Fuck Wall Street. Why? Why are you not Wall Street? Why am I not Wall Street? Why the regular people don't make up the free, so-called free market capitalism? Why the regular people don't make that up? Gun control laws, all types of different things, man. And all this has happened in like 2 months since so-called Biden has taken president. Or whoever is president, if there is a president. Who knows? Nobody even knows what's going on. And to sit here and say that, oh yeah, this is what's going on. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. The man that we see talking does not look like the man that's been president and vice president in the past. Does not look like Biden. Does not move like Biden. Does not talk like Biden. Does not act like Joseph R. Biden. Joseph Robinette Biden. Doesn't look like him. Doesn't talk like him. Look at his earlobes. Look at his earlobes. Why they're attached in them in old pictures and old videos, they're detached. I didn't know people get surgeries on their earlobes. Did you? I didn't know that was a thing. Plastic surgery like that, that's a thing? On your earlobes? His mannerisms. The way he moves. The way he talks. Does he have the cognitive skills to still do the thing that he's supposed to do as president? Then again, he's just a puppet anyways, right? We all started to realize this. Everybody's bought and paid for. You see who made a statement? Obama. Why? 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 Oh, he's a former president. He can make these statements. Yeah, he can. He can. Knows that his statement is somehow just so happens to line up exactly with what Biden is saying. That's wild, right? I was like, someone has a third term. Huh. How do you go around the Constitution so you can't have more than 2 terms as president? Well, you put someone else in office that's not really the president, but don't worry. The rest of all the people see is just this guy being president. Meanwhile, you get another term in office and nobody fucking knows the difference. Do what you want to do. Interesting, right? A lot of questions, man. A lot of things that don't make sense out there. You guys keep your eyes to paying attention to these news articles, all different things that's going on around the world, man. A lot of iffy shit out there, bro. A lot of iffy shit. As always, check me out on my YouTube channel, my Odyssey channel. Check out DamianJackson22.com. You'll find the links to my social media and podcasts. It's on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio. It's on Podbean. Make sure you guys you want to support the channel and stuff like that. Support my endeavors and what I'm doing. Check me out. Check out the store, UnderdogProductStore.com. Got some shirts, some mugs, some hoodies, wherever else. I'm sure gonna keep adding a whole bunch of different stuff. Nothing too special, just simple, basic things. Some like that. A shirt that says "Independent Thinker." I think that'll be the next shirt I buy and stuff, and we'll probably walk around and wear and stuff like that. Just little things like that. Things that says "Spread love, be yourself." Be yourself, love yourself is another thing I have. But you know, if you guys want to support me and the things that I'm doing, my endeavors, whatever, or if you just want to show some appreciation and stuff, go ahead and do that. I'd rather I sell you something, you buy something. I'm more comfortable with that. Whether you wear it or not, you decide to donate it somewhere else, that's not my business. But hey, I'm just throwing it out there. As always, be live streaming 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys are able to, go ahead and join the live stream. I'll try to interact with the chat and stuff and talk at the same time. Don't know how that'll happen, but doesn't matter. We'll try to pull it off, whatever. I can't believe I'm actually saying this. I actually want to hear some of y'all's reactions and hear what y'all got to say. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. Because when I started the podcast, I was like, I don't give a fuck what anybody really has to say. Now I'm like, oh, I got used to hearing people comment back to me. Because when I comment on other people's videos and someone else jumps in the comments and talks to me or even on my own videos and stuff and on my own tweets or social media posts or whatever, people are commenting and talking with me and stuff. I actually enjoy that positivity. I guess more or less I was worried about someone being negative because every time you turn around, somebody's being fucking negative. But you gotta learn to accept the negative and the positive and just roll with the punches and be okay with it. But I'll be back on tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll upload the podcast immediately after the live stream. So around about 1:30, 2 o'clock. And I'll upload a video version to my Odyssey and YouTube channel. You guys enjoy your day. Spend time with family and friends. Spread love. All that good shit. So until next time.